All right, Bakari. So you're in the military. You've got all this leadership. I want to talk about the discipline, the thinking, the teamwork that gets you to accomplish your role as GM. What's that like for you? Like what's the discipline look like? Is it because it can't be motivation, right? Like what does your discipline look like?
Um, so one thing I've learned in the service is honestly that no matter what, we're gonna adapt. Like even if it sucks, even if there's and I'm gonna use real estate in this sense, and I'm not gonna talk too much about the military side, but there's been dry spells to where we haven't got any leads. We're not getting anything on the table, no traction, no movement, nothing. And everybody's looking sad every time we come to the team meeting. Everybody's like, well, damn, man. Like, I know it's going to happen, but when? It's, it's a matter of just knowing that it's coming and, and keep on pushing, man. Like, the discipline comes from not motivation, of course. It comes from just like doing the same thing 1% better every day. And that's when you're gonna get to where you need to be. So adapting and overcoming is a term that everybody who is a veteran or is still active service understands that, and embracing the suck, like embracing the suck. Because you're gonna go through those phases to where honestly, for lack of words, and excuse my language, but it's gonna suck. Getting cursed out by older folk because they don't understand creative finance or realize that somebody calling your company a fraud because you didn't get them out of their hard money loans. And we got all the testing. We know what that one is. It's it sucks, man. But we're gonna push through. We're gonna keep on going, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, so you already started alluding to it a little bit. Give us some real world examples of like how that you don't have to talk about the castle stories or anything, but it's your story to tell. So whatever you want to go with, let's hear it. Let's hear an example.
Oh, example of how it's gonna suck. Honestly,
Well, just how you use like your military like discipline, the background, all that, like how you transferred that to this, like a real one.
mm. So in the before time, as I like to call it, VCI 1.0, as me, Mike, and Paul like to call it. Uh, there was a time where I'm not throwing shade to any of y'all out there if y'all do watch this, but there was a time to where a lot of our friends like joined this company and in the expectation for instant gratification, and they was dropping like one by one, and I was like, it's some of my closest friends too. I was like, look, man, we just gotta stick it through. Like, we can do this together. We gotta stick it through. And a lot of them was like, oh, it's a waste of time. Oh, it's too crazy of a workload. Oh, it's this, that, and third. Oh, I gotta worry about this. And you really weed them out, man, when you start seeing like when when they when they're going this tough, you're gonna see who is the ones who gonna stay. Honestly, like it's a war of attrition, man. Like so real estate is. And seeing all of my friends, I think there was like 11, maybe it was like 10 of us. It was 10 of us, and they just started dropping like flies, one after another, until it was just me, Paul, and Mike inside a meeting alone. And I'm like, well, this is it, fellas. I'll cold call.
Stayed that way
So
for a long time too.
yeah, yeah. So like it's a war of attrition, man. And that would be my real world example. Just seeing everybody go while you're just here staying because not only that, I have nowhere else better to go, but you was like, you see this out because you don't give up anymore. I remember as a kid, I used to give up on Monopoly games. It wasn't going my way. And I was like, you know what? Not this time.
Yeah. Dude, one of my favorite quotes from Dangerous Derek Smith is that I'm going to win the race if I'm going up against you because I am not going to stop. It's not because I'm running fast. It's because you're going to take breaks. You're going to be purposely driven by, or only driven by motivation, right? And that looks like a roller coaster. But if you're dedicated, if you're disciplined, and it becomes just a second nature to you, you're always going to excel. You don't have to do it 24/7, but thanks. I think that's a testament to everything that you've done, man. You're amazing. You're the glue that holds this company together. And I truly think that our business has flourished since we brought you on board. So, what are your goals? Like, what are your goals in real estate in the coming years? How do you see your experience in the Air Force kind of shaping those goals?
Okay. So I could hit you with my personal goals actually. So I'm actually looking at almost homesteading with my family. Being able to bring all of my family together, my immediate family, and we get a house together and like branch out from there. Because growing up from Queens, New York, all the way down to Georgia, and not really having a lot of money, I didn't even know it was broke. But like that means I had a good childhood. But just not having a lot of money, or just like not having that freedom to move everywhere. So I guess my next goal is to buy my brothers and my sister a house together in South Carolina. The Air Force is gonna help that way by keeping me a steady paycheck above water until I could get that house on creative terms by God's grace, and I keep on pushing forward. So
That's inspirational, man. I love the how you want to buy a house with your family and even get one down here in old South Kakalaka with your brothers. I'd love to have you down here, my friend. Please, please, please make that sooner rather than later, which I have a hand in helping in. But my last question, and we'll let you go because I know you're a very busy man, is as someone who juggles two jobs, I know I've done it. Paul's done it many times in his life. You're doing it at a like elite high scale level, like that no not too many people know how to operate at. So what's your advice for somebody who's trying to take multiple roles of this like gratitude on and be effective at it?
uh, okay, so other than flying by the seat of your pants, like as my good friend Rude would say, definitely take the time to actually plan out your work rest schedule. So doing your work, you work. You don't try to rest. You don't try to become a dopamine addict and like scroll on your phone or anything like that. You actually work. And then you do your rest. Nobody, I'm curse again, fellas. Nobody fucks with you doing your rest. Nobody. Everybody can wait. You work and then you rest. And then you schedule it out, man. Like you gotta get organized. Like you can't wing it. I'm sorry. I'm talking to a specific person right now. You cannot wing your work schedule. Map it out. Write it down. It's not going to go all up here. Trust me. Write it down. Get a calendar. Get anything that you need. Don't get 1,000 programs. Write it down. And it's all going to fall into place.
I don't want to be that person you just singled out, but Paul, hit us with the outro, big dog. Bakari, thanks for being here, brother.
Thanks. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you as a person, as our general manager. I appreciate you as a human being, most importantly. So I really appreciate you being here. Banks, do you have any last minute words of wisdom for anybody out there that's juggling a W-2 and are looking to get into real estate?
Um, words of wisdom. All right.
Hit it
Uh,
with it.
you're not going to know everything. You're not going to know everything else to get. Nothing's guaranteed. Just jump out the window and hope to land on a cushion. And if you don't, just get back up and keep on walking.
Imperfect action turns into perfection. Banks, thanks for being here.